In 2024, the ROG Azoth keyboard still tops the list of several best membrane and mechanical gaming keyboard lists out there. It has been a little bit over a year that I got my hands on this keyboard, and I've been using it as my daily driver ever since. And this keyboard has mostly been a pleasant surprise, but there is still one thing that kind of dulls the joyful experience of using it. And 1 year later, I just wanted to look at it as, is this keyboard still worth getting? Or is it priced too aggressively for its own good? Let's jump in. What's up, friends? Welcome back to the channel. In case you're new here, my name is Mike, and on this channel we explore the gadgets, tools, and strategies that help make life a little more fun and enjoyable and productive. The keyboard here retails for 250 euros in the Netherlands, and on Amazon.com I can see it for $200 in the States. It is a 75% gaming wireless keyboard with linear mechanical switches, and there are 3 ways to connect: wireless, Bluetooth, and wireless via USB dongle. For me, the typing experience has been a real joy. Like, the thocky sound of the keyboard is solid and pleasant. It's not high-pitched, it's not pingy. I'm honestly quite enjoying the linear switches. Now, from a gaming perspective, this keyboard has really hit the spot for me. Like, response times have been good, linear switches have played really well. The tactile part, I do miss it sometimes, especially during RTS or MOBA type games, especially during high intense moments. Just that extra bit of feedback helped a little bit, but that was only in the beginning stages. After a while, you get used to it, didn't really matter. Wireless connection, good, great even. I honestly had no noticeable issues, no real input lag issues of any sorts that I was really like, oh my god, what the hell just happened? There was a delay. It definitely is the keyboard. I mean, granted, I am no pro gamer, but ultimately the wireless performance has been so good that I use it exclusively in wireless mode. I have the dongle set up quite close to the keyboard, and that threads via USB cable all the way to the tower, and that works fine. So it's nice to have a wireless gaming keyboard on the desk, clean, minimalistic, simplistic look, and I really enjoy that. The battery life of the keyboard is said to be up to 2,000 hours. That's a lot. But that is provided that RGB is off and the OLED functionality is also disabled. So no one really does that, I would assume. So 2,000 hours, sure, you can reach it. I don't think anyone gets that many hours out of it. That being said, battery life of the keyboard was exceptionally good. It lasted long enough to the point that I don't really remember the last time I charged it. And then, worst case scenario, when it was running low, you just plug it in and then you use it as a cabled keyboard until you unplug it and use it wirelessly again. So in that case, I really see no flaws with the keyboard. Battery-wise, went well. But in the end, there are 2 things that I paid high premium price for. One that I don't use, and another one that I think really needs to just be called out. So the first one, the one that I don't use, is just the RGB features of a gaming keyboard. I mean, for the most part, it's off and on the desk. And then when I'm using it, I'm looking at the monitor, not at the keyboard. So this whole RGB thing for me is relatively useless. And I wish that there was just either a single color chrome, so just like a white illuminated keycaps, that would be nice, and then cheaper, or just none whatsoever and cheaper, because I'm paying a price for a feature that I really don't feel needs to be there, and I can't be the only gamer that feels that way about this. If I am, I'd be surprised, but so be it. The other thing that I actually think needs to be called out is the switches. And sure, they feel nice, they're linear, they're great, but my experience with these switches has been relatively negative over this year. Started off great, but at about month 5 or 6 or so, a couple of the switches started crapping out. And in that, what I mean is either double stroking or not registering an input at all. And it started off with a key that I use quite a lot, the E key, but also, oddly enough, a key I rarely use, which is the I. So it's good and bad that ROG actually already gives you 3 spare switches, because in a way it makes me think that they know that these switches might not be that reliable for the long term, or if you want to be a bit nicer about it, they think, hey, we're so generous, here are some extra just in case you need it. So choose your camp there. But My switches over these last year have broken beyond the 3 switches that you get, to the point that I've now used F12, F11, and F10 to replace other switches that have started crapping out. And now, just the other day, my O is dying again. I'm getting a lot of O's coming up as a double stroke, funnily enough, before and after the next letter that I write. So if I'm writing out, O-U-T, I get a O-U-O-T on the text. It's very weird. And for a gaming keyboard where the switches is so damn important and the feel is so damn important and you're paying the price that you're paying for it, I feel that either I got a faulty product or these switches need a huge overhaul. And in a way, they did do a huge overhaul. They did release an update to this keyboard with white switches, which seemingly are better. And I want to buy those because I want to swap out these switches for those, but I can't find anywhere how I can buy just those switches. So either I'm an idiot, which is possible, or something needs to change. But in any case, I just wanted to call out the switches. Great until they start crapping out. I only have this one model to compare it with. My experience has been so-so. So yeah, that sucks. All in all, because of that, I find it hard to recommend this gaming keyboard. If it weren't for the switches, I think it's a very good recommendation. A great product at a decent price. Like, yeah, the price quality ratio is skewed a little too far towards the luxury product side of things, but you wouldn't really regret getting it. But considering the frustration of the switches not working right, it makes typing a pain and gaming an annoyance. And especially in high stakes gaming where every key press matters, that's super frustrating. So for me, I do kind of regret spending so much money on this keyboard, especially when you look at the competition and what else is out there. I really want to buy the different switches to swap it out and see if I get a better experience, because as it is, I would rate my experience with the keyboard at the moment at like 7 out of 10, and that's being quite generous. The good thing is that it's a hot swappable keyboard, membrane keyboard, so I can swap it out. It's just I'm having to do that a lot sooner than I expected for the wrong reasons. So that's me. What about you? What keyboard are you using? Which one would be your dream purchase? Would it be this one? And anyone who has this keyboard as well, have you been experiencing the same problems as I have? I would love to hear your thoughts in the chat below. Thank you for making it this far in the video. Leave a like for Mike, subscribe if you really want to help me out, and see you in the next one.